Hello my friends, I hope you're having a lovely day, and in today's video we're checking out 1980X, the infamous year that a lot of video games used for a long time to talk about the future. And then there was 1990X, where video games talked about the future. You would think they'd go out of their way to be like, it was the year 3000, something that's really in the future. But nope, they just gave themselves like, 10, 20 years to work with. We don't really see, well, we still see 20XX in some games. Mega Man sticks to that a little bit. But yeah, this is a game that's meant to invoke memories of gaming in the 80s, and I would say 90s too, even though it's called 1980X, because the pixel art here is more akin to, I guess, what you would see in arcades. Not really home consoles at the time, but still, you get the idea. This came out recently on the Switch. I just have not had the chance to play it, but it's right up my alley. I am a huge retro gaming fan, and I don't consider it retro for me because it's when I grew up. It's just, games. These are games. Yes, Beating Heart. Yes, go. Oh, there we go. It's doing its thing. And there's just something magical for me about what is it? Oh, okay. Games that use pixel art. I can really appreciate games that do unique visual styles, and I can still appreciate games that can't double tap to run. Already losing points for that. I can appreciate games that use polygons to get their point across, and I can think some of those look gorgeous as well. But there's something about pixel art, and it's not nostalgia. Oh, I like that. It's really not nostalgia. It's similar to my appreciation for animation in general. Cartoons of any kind, or yeah, cartoons. Be it anime or Saturday morning fodder, Disney kind of stuff. Anything really, any kind of animation. There's just something about animation that really resonates with me, because I look at it and I'm like, that is absolutely gorgeous, and people came together to make this into something that moves and has like a certain vibe and has kind of a life to it, bringing just basic drawings or artwork to life. And again, that is the same for certainly a lot of the same things go into games that use polygons. I'm not saying I dislike that, because I don't at all. I just, pixel art does it for me more. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it. You know what I get? I get the feeling that like anything can happen. Like when I see polygons, for some reason, there we go, that's what I was hoping they would let me do. When I see polygons, I have an idea of how they're going to move and how they're going to act and what they're going to do, because they're more quote-unquote realistic. I don't want to say they're realistic, but, certainly look more realistic than this does, and that's not a knock on either side of the fence. But when it comes to pixel art, I don't know, it's like there's a magic to how things move, there's a magic to the animation, there's a magic to not knowing what's coming next. I just love seeing that explored, and it's not something that I get out of today's video games. And I love today's video games. I play all kinds of games, and I would never not play a game because of the visuals. I might have a personal taste for certain types of visuals, but yeah, it's just something about pixel art that does it for me. That was a long-winded way of saying I like pixel art, but hopefully I explained it a little bit. Can I run at all? Oh, well, there's a special move that I did by accident. Yes, I will continue. I don't know how this is supposed to be, paying tribute to classic genres from the days when pixel art games were the norm. And I don't know how you can make a tribute to beat 'em ups and not do a double tap to run, or even offer a run. I've hit every button. That seems like a big misstep. I don't know, maybe you will upgrade your character and you'll get to run. Although this is, I believe it's 5 different genres that are visited. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be playing. Oh, my bat disappeared. I don't know how long I'm gonna be playing the beat 'em up. Excuse me. I tried to flip that guy behind me. This is. I'm not sure yet. I just started. You know, obviously you have opinions, no matter whether you just started or or you've been playing for a couple hours. I feel like, oh boy. Oh boy. Yes, continue. I feel like this is trying to look the part and trying to feel the part, but it's. I went to jump. I feel like it's kind of missing it. I don't want to say it's bad, because I don't think it's bad, but it's not hitting the nostalgia mark that I think it's obviously going for. And it may fit better in other genres. I don't know. They might do a better job. The music is good. I like the music a lot. And, you know, this is just the very beginning of the game. So I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. Obviously, this is meant to just be some kind of intro tribute to 1980X in general. When I do these videos, which are, I don't want to say unique, but, you know, it's my style, I often wonder if I'm talking too much. I'm not talking to fill dead air or anything. I'm talking because I like talking while I'm playing. I mean, I could do just straight up gameplay videos where you just watch me play and I don't talk, but I don't know. I feel like talking, and I always seem to have a lot to talk about when I'm playing these games. So if it's annoying, please let me know, and I'll try and curtail some of it. I also get the feeling I come across as like a, oh god, why can't I think of his name? That's terrible. The PBS Painter guy, Bob Ross. Why couldn't I think of his name? I come across where I'm like, well, you know, I'm much more energetic than he was, certainly, when I'm talking about certain games or certain things that are going on, and, you know, I keep seeing if I can skip this for you guys so I can get into gameplay. You know, I'm not as even keeled as him, but I feel like I come across like that in some way. Hopefully it's not boring. See, this art right here. This I like. I guess I should listen to what this person is saying.
I'd still be here, stuck in sleepy suburbia.
That background there, man, I really like that. Like, I just love that.
Or so I thought.
There's a word for it, and I'm having trouble recalling simple words to convey what I'm feeling. Minimalistic. That's the word I'm going for. It's minimalistic, but you know what it is. Like, it's clearly buildings. There's some cars driving down there as well. I just love that. I love that style. I know this game has music from Yuzo Koshiro as well, and I'm eager to see if I can pick out which tracks in this game are from Yuzo Koshiro. I feel like I know his style pretty well. And have listened to a ton of his music, his game music, over the years, and he's still making music today. Boy, does he impress me! I can't tell you how excited I am to see what he's doing for Streets of Rage 4. Talking about throwback games. That's not pixel art. This time around, it's hand drawn stuff. But there you go, Yuzo Koshiro. I am so excited for that game. And I am so excited to see what his music is like. I want to know, you know, Streets of Rage 2 has one of the most amazing soundtracks of all time as far as video games go, as far as I'm concerned. There's certain games that have soundtracks that I think are above and beyond what the average game soundtrack are. And there's a lot of great game soundtracks, but stuff like Streets of Rage 2, let's think, Super Mario Galaxy, Nier Automata, stuff like that. Man, amazing soundtracks. And I want to see if he can recapture that magic of Streets of Rage with Streets of Rage 4. I don't know. I'm not nervous of his skills, but Streets of Rage 4 has a lot to live up to, and sometimes the weight of that can bring you down. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to do here. This is more story than I thought, and I can't skip it.
in 1980.
So maybe I'll just shut up for a bit, and I'll come back when there's gameplay. Alright, I believe I'm back. There was a good bit of story there. It's interesting, coming back to a town where you haven't been in a long time and you find out there's this, like, dingy arcade that you've never been to before and all these people hanging out playing games. And I went into the arcade to play one of these games, and this is it. Some absolutely gorgeous pixel art, stuff that like would make for really cool animated wallpapers on your desktop. I'm guessing some people have already done that with this because there's some really nice looking stuff. Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, I gotta pay attention more. So yeah, it seems like there's going to be a bigger story told here rather than just like, here's tributes to old video games, and I'm all about that. I like that idea. I knew a little bit about this game to begin with, but not too much. So I'm eager to find out more. I like the idea of playing retro games, but having them tied into a story. I think that's a cool idea, so I'm interested not only to play the retro games themselves, but see what happens with the character too. Now, see this, like I was saying, this is a great song. The beat 'em up felt. Can I touch that? What do you think? Let's not do it. The beat 'em up felt a little off. This feels good. This feels right. This feels right. There's a whole bunch of different developers working on this too, so. I don't know who's doing what. Oh, sorry. There you go. You know, that big guy had to get out before I could blow up the ship. I'm sure it's going to come back to haunt me. Now, will this hurt me? Probably not. Oh, maybe it blew up them. I hope at the end... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I hope at the end of the game they tell you who worked on what music and who did what games. Man... like I've said a few times now, this game is clearly going for the nostalgia vibe for people who were around in the days when pixel art games were the norm, and it's giving me that feel. Oh, see, here he is. Where is my health? Well, never mind. Doesn't really matter. And lo-fi voices too when you get the power-ups. That's how it should be. That's how it used to be. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Oh boy. Well, that's embarrassing. I'd be interested to see what you guys think of pixel art games in general. If you're like of my... how old am I? 38? Am I 38? Like if you were playing these types of games growing up as well, or if you're younger and you missed out on all that, like your first... I know it seems like there's a lot of people who are following Go Nintendo, be it on Twitter or the site or whatever, that are of the... Well, I've got myself into a bit of a problem here. The PS1, N64 era, that's the first systems that they played, or PS2, Xbox, GameCube era. Which is really interesting to me, because I'm like, man, am I old? But yeah, I don't know what it's like. You know, seeing the progression of games from when I was a kid to where they are now is mind-boggling. But if you're starting off, especially if you're starting off with a GameCube, PS2, Xbox, to now, yes, visuals have gotten a million times better. Quote-unquote better. But, you know, they haven't... It's not exactly the same leaps and bounds that we experienced growing up with the Atari, like 7800 or the NES. Obviously, things have changed much, much more since those days. But the desire for those type of games is still there. And that's why we have games like this. But, yeah, I'd be interested to see, ooh, boy, what people think. Like, are you tired of pixel art games, and you didn't grow up in the era of pixel art games? Maybe you are from that era, and is this gonna hurt me? And you're tired of them, or if you really appreciate it, or if this kind of stuff makes you want to go back and play those games that are from an era that you missed. But yeah, like God damn it, God damn it, I gotta pay attention. I'm sorry. I thought I was low enough. Clearly, I was not. I got one more life to do this. Low. Okay, good. I don't know if I don't think I have to hit him in the head. Maybe I do. I'm gonna stick with the face. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Oh, I did not I did not expect that. Oh, there was something. This is definitely like classic video game vibe. Robot stuff that turns into like living beings, or was a living thing all along. Very Contra. All right, I'm guessing that's the end of this here, so we're gonna call it. That's your look at 1980X, which some of you may have been playing already, but others didn't even know it existed. So maybe it piqued your interest. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's very much appreciated. Also, a huge thank you to those of you who support the Patreon. I really appreciate it. The Patreon lets me do things like this, videos, and helps me with the site, and social media, and the podcast, all that good stuff. It really does help out with all that. If you want to learn more about the Patreon, which is just $1, you can check out the link in the description below. But as for today, that is it. I'll be back tomorrow as long as I got something interesting to show you. So until then, have a lovely day and a lovely evening, and I'll see you in a few short hours.
Space invaders. But then there